Christmas card, a Sunday school card. And I had to walk to Sunday school with about a nickel or 2 or 3 pennies to put in the Sunday school. So I always was studying. Always.
So you say you met the Honorable Elijah Muhammad while he was in prison or after he got out of prison?
I registered while he was in prison.
Okay, you registered while he was in prison. So you didn't...
I didn't see him until he was out of prison.
Out of prison.
And I was registered then. I was attending in Chicago then.
Okay.
That's where I lived.
Okay.
In Chicago. I went to Chicago way back when I was quite young. And I did a lot of... I got experience in the world, in life.
Okay.
I was a gambler.
Go ahead.
Top gambler. Both cards and dice. But I gave all that up. I was a gambler.
Okay. So
and I don't mean I just played out there because I didn't play to lose.
So you made money gambling.
If I gamble, I'm going to lose.
Okay.
So that's all right that y'all know he know you recording this, you doing the speech with him, you doing
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure he knows what you're doing. So
Okay.
What? You see, I dealt seconds. Well, I had crooked. I had crooked dice, different crooked dice, loaded, mercury, 6/8 flat, and some others. And I had marked cards. I could deal second right before. If I some cards right here now, I could deal second right before your eyes. And if you didn't know what I was doing by my movement, you wouldn't even know.
So you contribute your conversion to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, turn your life around just like you turned Malcolm and everybody else's life around.
Well, I think that to be a spiritual representative or a spiritual teacher, you got to know what you're doing.
Okay, I got you.
I don't think you just go out there hooping and hollering,
and
shouting and carrying on.
Experience.
So I taught Sunday school in different groups. I didn't buy any, whether it was Baptist or Methodist or Seventh-day Adventist or whatever. I've taught Sunday school, taught Bible, and all of those.
Okay.
That's right. That is correct. And I never barred question. I made a lot of converts, and a lot of Ms. Farrakhan's chief staff, they came out to, many of them came out to put me in my place. And it tickled me. It just tickled me. Because I knew what I knew, and I knew that I knew that I knew what I knew. So it didn't bother me. I think a person ought to be able to defend whatever his occupation is.
Right.
With respect and intelligence to others.
Right.
And I remember this, which he's Ms. Farrakhan's chief representative, I think, now. He came out to put me in my place, and I was in New York.
Do you remember his name?
He's called, what is that? What is it called?
Akbar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He came out to put me in my place. And when I hear him that, it tickled me. I laughed. He came out to put me in my place.
It reminds me of this brother, the first brother that they asked, I don't know whether he was around then, they asked his brother Abdur Luqman. His name was Anas Luqman then. They asked him to plant a bomb in Malcolm's car. Was you around then?
Asked him to bomb what?
They asked his brother Anas Luqman to plant a bomb in Malcolm's car. Your story reminds me.
There's so much about Malcolm that is difficult. It's not true. I put it that way.
Right.
So I'm not dealing with it right now. See, I knew Malcolm.
Okay.
I'm not talking about I think I knew him. I knew Malcolm.
Okay.
Malcolm was writing the messenger when he was in prison.
Right.
And I'd be sitting at the table when he would read the letter.
Right.
To me of what Malcolm had wrote. So when Malcolm got out of prison, he made it direct to the messenger's house. I'm right there. I'm living with him.
I remember you telling me that.
Yeah. Made it direct. It's a shame how we are so easily led wrong. We don't seem to want to check things out.
Well, we are getting it straight from the horse's mouth because you live with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. You're 100 years old. You'll be 101 years old in May. Minister Lucius Brown. Your name used to be Lucius Bayard, I think it was.
My name has never been officially changed.
Okay.
The messenger didn't do that.
Okay.
He knew that that might not. Now, there are a lot of brothers who went and officially, legally had their name changed.
Okay.
I have never. I was called Lucius Bayard, Lucius Bay, but there's no need of me changing my name.
Right. Lucius.
Because if I give myself a name, how do I know that that's the name for me?
Right. Your mother named you Lucius.
My mother named me Lucius.
Right.
L-U-C-I.
Lucius is in the Bible.
Of course it's in
Right.
there. And it means praise or bright light.
The praise of bright light.
I don't need to change my name.
Right.
But now, whenever the time comes, now if anyone want to change their name, that's all right.
Right.
They can do that. I'm not against anybody who want to change their name. But personally, me.
It's really amazing because it's Black History Month right now, and a few days ago they were celebrating Malcolm's the day that he got assassinated. So we're here talking to you.
If so much has been said about Malcolm, it's as far from the truth as the East is from the West.
Well, would you tell us what exactly happened? Do you know?
What?
Well, I said assassinated, and you said assassinated. Was he assassinated?
It depends on what people mean by being assassinated.
Well, personally, I believe that the government did it. I don't think the government, the United States government. Some people.
Malcolm was killed, wasn't he?
Yes, sir.
Well, I was there. I was at the meeting in New York when it happened.
Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Well, I can. See, at this time,
Okay.
Malcolm was discussing the messenger's personal life with the messenger's youngest son. See, a lot of people just talk, run off at their mouth.
Right.
When I tell you something, I'm experienced. I know these things.
You were there.
And I can talk to anybody that want to come.
Right.
Malcolm, after he had, now he never broke from the messenger.
Right. Okay.
Not the way they said.
Okay.
When Malcolm was discussing the messenger's life, the messenger warned him. See, I don't talk hearsay too much.
Right.
You gotta have some facts with me.
Right.
And the messenger said, brother, you're one of my top ministers. So you don't talk about your leader's personal life like that. He said, if you do that, I'm going to have to take you off of your pole.
Right.
Malcolm kept on talking to his youngest son. So the messenger moved him off. But he still was head of the mosque.
Right.
Because we didn't call him mosque early. We called him Holy Temple of Islam in the early days. It was back coming down the road before we called it a mosque.
Right.
He said, brother, if you keep on, I'm going to take you off your pole. He kept on. So the messenger said, well, now you can take the business of the mosque, but you won't speak.
Okay.
Malcolm did.
You take care of the business, but he wasn't allowed to speak.
Yeah, he was not allowed to manage.
Okay.
I'm not guessing.
Right. You were
what
there.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
I know what I'm saying. So he kept it up. At this time, the messenger, do you remember when the messenger went out, where you call it, out west, wherever it was?
Arizona.
Arizona. On account of the doctor advised that atmosphere would be better for his condition.
Right.
And that's why he got a home out there.
In Arizona. Tanetta used to live out there with him. Tanetta Muhammad?
Not at this point.
Oh, not at that point? Okay.
Not at the point I'm talking.
Right, okay.
Not at the point I'm talking.
Okay.
No. Later on, okay.
Okay.
Because I visited him out there, and when I went in the house, he had lost some weight. And he jumped, he stood up, so happy. He said, I know my minister was coming to see me. And he had lost weight, and you know how your pants began to...
Yeah. Far side.
So we sit down. Malcolm came later on.
Okay.
And we had dinner. And that was on a Saturday. And the messenger didn't come to the table. But where the dinner table, where Sister Claire Muhammad had fixed it, he was on the bed and we could be sitting at the table and look right at him. And he was telling us about what he was going to teach. And I looked at Malcolm looked at me and he said, He don't look like he gonna be good enough to go out there and speak. But he went and spoke for hours, 3 or 4 hours. So we all that.
So the asthma, he had that for a long time.
Yeah, whatever it was.
When you
I
first-
know he suffered with that.
Cause I've
It's so much, brother. And you're here, your daughter's here. Y'all can ask me anything you want to. I don't let nobody make me angry.
we're not gonna try to make you angry.
Well, I'm just saying.
I feel like
I
it's
don't want you to think that you can
Oh.
hurt me in any kind of way.
No, I'm not.
You can't do
I
it.
understand what you're saying. Just lay it on you. Whatever I want to ask you.
I don't
just
let
let it.
nobody make me angry.
Hey, bro.
Why should I?
Hey.
The only way they can make me angry, I might not get angry if they hit me. The only thing I'm going to do, they better be tough.
Have faith. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad came from Sandersonville, Georgia. Is Sandersonville pretty close here to Hawkinsville? Is it in this area?
I used to go there when I was driving, where his home, his people. I visit more than once his hometown, and I visit a lot of his people there. In fact about it, he had a close relative. I used to eat dinner with her when she come to Dublin quite often.
So your daughter, is she still in Dublin?
Yeah, I just got off going to talk to her.
Oh, okay.
My daughter's still in Dublin, and the grandbaby. And
So how did you end up here in Hawkinsville? You was up there with
After the departure of the messenger,
Okay.
and everything had,
Right.
happened the way it did.
Right.
I wanted to be in a place where I figured I could be safe. Because I first stopped in Dublin, and I saw a lot of things. Think about it, I taught. I had a house packed with people. I had to stand right in the door like that, and the room couldn't get no more. And the room that even on the porch, had a porch, and I taught. So that's the way I did it. And I was always like that. And how did I get to Jamaica? Well, think about it.
You stopped in Macon before.
I saw a lot. People, brothers, I call them brothers.
Right.
It could have been an enemy, I don't know.
Right.
I call them brothers. I was in my house, in my apartment, sitting in the car, and a lot of times they'd come out from hedges, 2 or 3, and I knew, I don't know where they come from, but I know they were Muslim.
The brother from the nation, you think, huh?
I don't know where
Where
they're
they from
from
the nation?
or members.
Okay.
The
Right.
words could have a different
Right.
meaning. Only thing I know, they were identified as Muslim. Now, whether they were from the nation or sent in that way, doesn't matter. But I wanted to have security, and after I had built up Macon and made all the converts, got a place for them, they were trying to get rid of me. I didn't take it in conscience at this time. But they was asking me to go to Jacksonville and build.
Oh, okay.
They kept on.
Okay.
So finally, I made up my mind to leave Macon on a Saturday. I had my life. Then I learned that they was trying to get rid of me because they thought I was going to be the original minister. And they know I don't take pushes around.
Right.
I respect all.
Right.
I give the respect to ministers, to captains, to Muslim sisters, but I don't, nobody pushes me around.
Right.
I don't buy that.
Minister Lucius.
I don't buy that. You got to treat me as a person.
Right.
If you don't, keep on moving.
Speaking of that, do they ever contact you from the marks there in D.C.? Did you hear from them often?
Oh, D.C.?
The marks that you built. Do the people
You mean
stay in contact with you?
In Washington, D.C.?
Washington, D.C., yeah.
No, what happened was, well, when I got ready to build that place, or want to build it, I was fought against from in as well as without.
Okay.
I bought with the support I had, we bought a lot, paid $9,000 for it, where we put the building on.
And that was in 1930?
Or I'd have to
No, 35.
somewhere.
Okay.
So I was fought against from within as well as without, and from without as well as from within. But they couldn't stop me. They made it a little difficult, but they couldn't stop me. Because I built that building from ground up. The only thing they was hoping for them, the material and the way they wanted it, if you ever see it, they was hoping that I could not ever get it.
Finish it.
You understand?
The people in the town, or the people
I'm
in
not
the...
going to go too specific, but
Okay.
I'd say from within and without.
Okay.
Some of them was Muslim, some of them was
Well, not
otherwise.
Muslims.
And they was hoping that they would stop me from doing it, but the support that I had from believers and the money, they weren't able to do it. But they put forth every effort. And if you ever look at that building, the way they wanted it, they figured that they could not get that type of construction to that site because the level was high, and they figured where it had to come from, the viaduct couldn't come under. They knew that.
I heard it was built a special kind of way. It was.
Well, yeah, it was very tall, and the only way it could get to the site is go way around on the railroad, way around, and come in another way. Because of the viaduct that had to come under, with that height, it couldn't do it. So I fought against within as well as without, and without as well as within. And I was a master. God was with me.
Right. I know that's right.
I know
Especially
that.
for that
See, I know that.
time. Yeah.
I had two attorneys, both black, to protect me,
Right.
And I learned that they was against me, trying to stop me. But God was with me. So then I dropped them, paying them each $100 a week, each, just to be my attorney. And when I find that out, then I went downtown in Washington and got a Jew attorney. And he stood with me, and that's where I completed.
That's how you got it done. Okay.
But I want you to remember something.
What's that?
If you are righteous
Right.
and want to do right, you're going to have some enemies.
Gonna have some enemies. Yeah. I understand that.
Ain't no guess
I know that to be a fact.
And I know it to be the truth. If the truth,
Right.
if the truth is a fact, then the fact is the truth.
Right, okay.
Then we together.
It is what it is. Yes, sir.
But nobody was able, because there's not a mosque today has as many faithful FOI, faithful as I had. At one time.
Right.
Not sisters.
Right.
Even if I go to a maker.
Right.
You know anything about my work in Macon?
Right.
You do?
All over the place. Yeah, because of Sarah Mitchell. Miss Mitchell gave me your number. Her sister did. Sarah Mitchell's sister, and she was the last 9 months of Malcolm's life. She was the secretary.
Now you're talking about Malcolm.
Well,
Nobody. There's so many lies, and I'm calling what it is, have been said about Malcolm. Now, some of the things they say is true, but there's a lot of lies said about Malcolm.
I believe that. Well, I
know it.
Yes, sir. I believe it.
Malcolm, I'm the first person that ever called Malcolm up to speak to believers. I'm the one who turned New York over to him.
Right. I heard that.
Oh, I did.
I've heard that.
Because I was minister of both places.
Right.
Because he didn't have qualified ministers. I'd spend one weekend in New York City, come back to Washington, D.C., spend the other weekend and back and forth.
So basically, you're the foundation of the Nation of Islam.
No, I wouldn't want to go that far.
A great part of the foundation.
You could say to some,
Nation of
because
Islam.
of my travel and the converts and all like that.
Sounds just like the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Yeah, so you could say that.
Just
but
like.
I don't like to pat too much myself on the back.
Right.
I just give the truth of my history.
Right.
Of what I did and pass on. Because then the messenger said to me, when I was living with him, he said, Brother Minister, he said, the only reason I want them to write is because to protect me. I don't want them to charge me with brainwashing
Okay.
the black man.
Okay.
He said, you don't need to write for that. This is you. This is yours. Time will, you just accept. Now, a lot of things that the messenger told me, I almost hit on a little of that.
Okay, I appreciate
can't
it.
go too far.
I appreciate it.
That ought to, we're not following. Yeah, put it like that.
What's that?
We're not following.
Following?
We are not following.
Following the messenger?
Teaching.
Right. You mean right now today? They're not.
Well, okay. You understand.
Right. Right. Right.
You understand. But that's nothing to be upset about. We live in a dark, wicked world.
Right. Right.
Evil world.
Right.
Within and without.
Right.
We got to realize that.
What were some of the first questions you asked the minister when you met him?
I think Ms. Falcon mentioned that. Did you hear when he was telling that I asked and visited the message, started asking questions? Ms. Falcon mentioned that. But anyway, to answer your question, the second Sunday, coming up to the third, I was in the messenger's house. They had not got his house right on Woodlawn. He was living on the south side. Because I'm a person who asks questions.
Right.
Not that as an enemy, but I like to know where I'm going.
Right.
So I asked the second Sunday, coming up to the third, after he had spoke, I was asking, I said, I'd like to, they called him prophet.
Right.
They didn't call him messenger, then they called him
Prophet at that time. Okay.
at that time. So I said, I'd like to speak to the prophet. So I kept walking out. He had left. That was the second Sunday. And finally someone said, that's my father. I said, that's your father? He said, yeah. I said, I'd like to speak with him. I said, is there any way I can speak to him? He said, I said, give him his number. I called him. Second Sunday I heard him, I called him. I said, this is my second time hearing you. He said, I would like to speak with you about it. He says, okay. He said, what about Wednesday? I think it was Wednesday. I said, that's okay. He said, you married? I said, yes, sir. He said, bring your wife. I said, yes, sir. So the second week that I heard him, I'm sitting in his house. And when I got out there on the south side, his youngest son was sitting in there. He put him out. Nobody in that room but me and my wife had gone in the kitchen with Sister Clara Muhammad. She was in the kitchen. And he was sitting right in front of me, but far from me, maybe not as far as brother. And I'm sitting like this right in front of him. He said, you want to talk with me? Had his hand in his lap. I said, yes, sir. He said, ask me anything you like. I said, they tell me you are a prophet. I said, are you a prophet? He said, I am the messenger of Allah. Well, that satisfied my curiosity.
Okay.
I said, okay. I said, now they tell me that you saw God. He did like that. I said, I want to know from you. Are you sure, or whoever you saw was God? He said, he made me all into himself. He never moved his hand. He was sitting like, no, he didn't have his knee crossed, but he was sitting like that. He never moved. He answered every question I asked him, and I understood it. Then I asked him of a scripture that a lot of discussions in the church. St. John, the first chapter. In the beginning was the Word was with God, and the Word was God, all things were made by him, blah, blah, blah. So I asked him, I said, will you explain that? Because there was a lot of discussion within the church. He started. He didn't ask for no book. He started. I said, started the first verse. He started. He got on to about the third or fourth. I said, that's enough. He said, you understand? I said, yes, I do. He said, you got any more questions? I said, no, sir. I said, that's sufficient. I said, he said to me, He says, if you ain't got no more question to me, I got one for you. I said, yes, sir. He said, what is ether?
Mm.
I said, ratified air. He laughed. I didn't say it right or wrong. He kind of laughed, and I didn't say no more.
That's the question he asked you.
Yeah.
What is ether?
What is ether?
That's deep.
I said, ratified air. He didn't say right, wrong, and I didn't ask him. So I've been like this. I try to be truthfully honest. And the average person, they don't know what true honest is.
Right, right,
They can't explain it.
right.
Can you? Can you give me a definition of what true honest is?
I don't think I can give you a definition.
What about your daughter?
I don't
She
know.
listening?
I guess you have to, that's something you have to just live, true honesty, but I don't think I can give you an answer.
You can't?
Nope.
You don't know what true honest is?
Well, I know that you would have to be a righteous or that's hard to explain.
No.
It's not.
I don't think so.
But you explain it for me.
True honesty is honest with yourself.
Okay.
There's no, if you're not honest with yourself,
Okay.
how you gonna be true honest?
All right. So okay, I got it.
True honesty is honest with yourself.
I understand.
Your own mind, your own conscience, you know. Now, if you're not honest with yourself, how you gonna be true with anybody?
Right. It's just like that old saying, "Beauty is in the eye of the beholder," which means if you have it within yourself,
Now,
you can see it in
nobody have
others.
to agree with
Yeah,
me.
I understand what you're saying. I got it.
You don't have to agree with me.
I got it.
I don't let nobody make me irrational and angry. They control you.
I got it.
But true honesty is honest with yourself. And if you're not honest with your own conscience and self, how you gonna be honest with anyone?
Right. I understand. That was a question you asked me once. It was about Islam. I was trying to think of it a few minutes ago. I can't remember, but maybe I'll think about it later. It was something what on the line of that true honesty thing. You said that it was a key that was in Islam, and you asked me did I know what it was? I forgot.
What?
You asked me something about Islam, and once I was talking with you on the phone, you asked me this question, and you said that there was a key that was in Islam, and you asked me what was that? Maybe I'm not wording it right, but maybe it'll come to me later. But you just reminded me of it. I think I got it wrote down somewhere, but I'll try to find it later.
Well,
yeah, brother minister, I had to come.
Your daughter ain't got no question?
Yeah.
You don't? Well, I just declare. You mean to say no question?
No, she's just getting into Islam and all this kind of thing. So
Well, that is something you don't force. You never force a religious belief on anyone.
Right.
It has to come voluntarily.
Right.
But you don't force it. Whether it's wife, daughter, whoever.
Has anybody told you sound like Elijah Muhammad beside myself?
And, well,
You ever heard that before?
I have in some degree.
Okay. And I can understand why you been around him so long, man.
Well,
Yes.
I registered, and shortly after I registered, he was in prison. Well, when I read, he was in prison, and he told me that he was put in prison on false charges.
False charge. Okay.
One of the charges of false was he was not sending his children to school.
Oh, okay.
Well, he had school for them. The other charge that he had not registered for the army back there.
Right.
And he was too old for it, but he had
Right.
registered. So.
Right.
And I used to sit to the table eating every day and asking him questions. Because I believe in asking questions. Not